I think maybe we should go to Costa Rica too.
Oh, I've been to Costa Rica. It's amazing.
Nah, you ain't been the way where he went.
No,
because I've been to Costa Rica too.
Yeah,
we ain't been to that part.
Okay.
We ain't been to that part.
All right.
I want to go to that part.
All right. I like it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Jason and Osi podcast, brought to you by 888 Sport and Lazy Boy, official partners of the NFL UK and Ireland. But this is a special episode because, as you see, my man right now, Osi Umenyiora, is in his palace in a secret location, compartment. I'm not sure, but it looks relaxing and it looks like there's a story to it, Osi.
It's not a lazy boy? Is this not a lazy boy that I'm in? No?
It is.
This is a real lazy boy.
Hey, man.
There's no laziness happening where I'm at right now.
Hey, man. I know in the off season, we're going to get into our off-season podcast. We might as well tell the people about it right now. We're going to get something started. We're going to have all those off-season conversations that you like. It might be on under a different name. We'll get to that later. But I think this is how it needs to look every single time. You just look like a man who can really philosophize anything right about now.
Okay, let's just tell people the truth. Okay, so there's at least 19 kids in my house right now, at least 19 of them. And so when I'm downstairs, they're all on the internet, everything skips, geez. There's a bunch of noise. You say, hey, be quiet. And they're quiet for like 11 seconds and then they start acting crazy again. So I had to come all the way upstairs where there's a little bit of peace and quiet. And guess what? There was more noise. So I had to go downstairs and be like, hey, can you guys please be quiet for a little bit while I film this show? That's the only reason why I'm up here, J Bell. I'm going to be in a more professional setting next time, as long as the kids ain't here.
No, I like this because, you know,
like
yeah, because your house is about family. It's about entertainment. You said when you bought that house, this house is not for me. It's for them.
Yeah. Hey, whenever you come over, where'd you see me? In the little corner, that little cave, just right there. That's all I got.
Dude, you walk into Osi's house, literally through the front door. Magnificent front door, by the way. And to the right, there is a room. An office. That's as far as I go. I go right in there into the kitchen. Everything else is somebody else's room. I mean, that's it, bro. That's your room, bro. That's your home.
The smallest room in the house, that's the one they gave me. The guy who paid for the house, by the way, they give me the smallest room and say, this is your cave, actually. It's incredible.
Sometimes even when you ballin', there's a lack of respect. And we're about to get into our player of the week. And he's somebody who's ballin', but they haven't been winning many games. And if they did win more games, he probably would be the MVP. That is Joe Burrow, our player of the week. All right, Osi, this week we got a player of the week. It is Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals, who defeated the Broncos 30-24 in overtime. My man went nuts. He completed 39 passes for 412 yards. Osi, let's break it down.
Oh, yes, J Bell. Let's take a look at our player of the week, Joe Burrow. Look at him looking around, stepping up into the pocket. And I thought, J Bell, I thought they couldn't. Yes, he can. And he gives him the stanky leg and asks the DB, how does my shoulder taste? I ain't sliding, J Bell.
Osi, this was a big time run. And he dropped back and he realized all the defenders' backs were to him. So he took off. This is what good quarterbacks do. When they identify coverage is down the field and they have an opening, take off for the first down.
Into the fourth quarter we go. 2nd and 5, Joe Burrow. And this man right here is having a phenomenal season. I want you to take a look at this play. Down here in the red zone, he is going to take the snap and he's going to look over to his right, looking to one of his favorite receivers, and that is, in my white T. Higgins. Touchdown, J Bell.
One of his 3 touchdowns on the day, that is Joe Burrow, and it was a stutter and go by T. Higgins. Froze the defender just enough, and he used his arms to get a little separation at the top of the route. T. Higgins coming down with a big catch.
That's a push-off, man. They're not allowed to do that, J Bell.
They're allowed to do anything on offense these days.
They can't push off, man. No more. My son is a corner. My son is a corner now. They're no longer allowed to push off, J Bell.
You're on our side now.
I'm definitely on your side. In the fourth quarter, 7 minutes and 33 to go, 3rd and 9. Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, Probably the best playing quarterback, as good as anybody in football right now. He's going to take the snap, survey the field, and I want you to take a look at this play right here. Step into his right and just rifles the ball across there in between two defenders. That is, in my white T. Higgins once again.
They tried to jam up T. Higgins on the line of scrimmage. He got physical and got open. I mean, he was a big-time target for Joe Burrow in this game. This is why we look at Joe Burrow as the MVP if they had a better record, because of throws like this.
Still in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Squeaky bum time, as they like to call it. It's tied 17-17, and this is Joe Burrow once again, taking the snap, play action pass, stepping up into the pocket, and look at the flick of the wrist right over the middle of the field. That is Ja'Marr Chase, the best receiver in football, J-Bell.
Without a doubt, Ja'Marr Chase is one of the best in the game. You see him in motion. That gave an indicator of zone or man coverage, and it was zone, and Joe Burrow just drilled the ball in between the space and let Ja'Marr Chase do the rest.
Still in the fourth quarter, a minute and 31 to go. They are down here on the goal line, and my main man, Joe Burrow, is going to take the snap, and I want you to watch something right here. Just powers his way into the end zone. What a great job by the offensive line, pushing Joe Burrow into the end zone, and then take a look at what this man is going to do here. I bet you could never guess what he's going to do here, J-Bell.
Is he spiking it?
Oh, no. Check it out. Oh, he put the three fingers behind his back. This boy is saucy, J-Bell.
If you don't love Joey B, you love him now. Now, this is the tush push, but it is the Bengals version. Joe Burrow getting in the end zone, and you are right, Osi, the celebration was the key moment. This is why they rally behind their quarterback, not only because of big-time plays, but big-time celebrations.
What a fantastic game we had. We are in overtime right now. And Joe Burrow, once again, is going to make a spectacular play. He's going to take the snap, looking to his right, and delivering a deep ball. And that is, in my white T. Higgins once again, J-Bell.
T. Higgins with 131 yards on the day. Look at him stretch out and get this pass. He beat the defender off the line of scrimmage and outran the safety down the sideline. Just an explosive game by in my white T. Higgins.
They don't know about that yet, my white T. Maybe we're aging ourselves, J-Bell. What do you think? You think people know about Yep?
The right people know, bro. The right people know.
Yeah, the Joe Burrow fans know.
There we go.
Still in overtime, game tied 24-24. The Cincinnati Bengals are down here on the 3-yard line. Joe Burrow, quick out. And that is once again, in my white tee, throwing the ball into the stands. What a game, Jason.
I mean, you gotta be kidding me. And look at Joe Burrow, the excitement, the intensity. He went over and he hugged T. Higgins because it was that kind of play, that kind of moment. It meant everything for this team. What a game on our hand, and what a performance by that man, Joe Burrow.
Oh my goodness, J-Bell. T. Higgins, are they going to be able to pay both of these receivers? Like, what is going on there, J-Bell?
It's going to be tough, and you saw Joe Burrow at the end of the game give him big hugs because he understands this moment might ever come back again. And I'm telling you, we got to blank out what he said because it was intense. All right, Osi, our man Joe Burrow did not disappoint. We're not surprised at all. But we are at that point of the season. The playoff picture is looking very clear, my man. And as a person who has been to the playoffs several times and has went all the way through to the Super Bowl, you understand the excitement that teams and players and fan bases have because of this. So let's start off in the NFC. The divisional leaders are the Vikings, the Eagles, the Rams, and the Bucs, okay? In the wild card, so those are your top four. In the wild card at 5, you have the Lions, you have the Commanders, and you have the Packers. And in the hunt, you have the Falcons. But remember, the Vikings and Lions play next week for that number 1 seed next Sunday night. That is going to be an outstanding game. The Vikings, we'll talk about them later. And in the AFC, we got the Chiefs at the number 1 seed, the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans at the 4 seed. At the 5th seed, we got the Steelers. 6th seed, we have the Chargers. In the 7th, we have the Broncos. And in the hunt are the Dolphins and the Bengals. And we just saw the Bengals play, OC. And wouldn't you like to see the Bengals in the playoffs? I mean, with the way this offense performed, with Burrow's heroics, I mean, that just dominated in clutch in the overtime and making it happen. I mean, they're explosive. We know their defense struggles, but when you can score that many points, all you need to be right is on that day.
Yep. So 2 things. First, I just thought of something when you were talking about the playoffs. And
Tell
that
me.
is, I have never been on a team that won a playoff game. Every single time we won a playoff game, we won the Super Bowl. That's it. Every other time we lost, we got bounced out. True story. So the only time we won a playoff game, we went all the way to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Now,
wow. So you've never been close.
Never been close. It was either we won the whole thing or we weren't even like in the conversation.
Wow, interesting.
That's it. Yeah. Now to answer your question, I think anybody who is a fan of football, right? Anybody who is a fan of good offense, which the NFL really is, right?
Yeah.
Would love to see the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. Now, I tell you who doesn't want to see the Cincinnati Bengals, anybody else in the AFC. Nobody wants to see them. So right now, they're probably doing their computations. They're like, okay, how can we get Miami and Denver? What can we do to get them in? Because if the Cincinnati Bengals come in, they are liable to beat anybody in the AFC. They are playing good football. They are a hot football team. It'd be very difficult for anybody to beat them, J-Bell.
It's just like when you look at the Texans, right? Everybody wants to play them.
Yep.
You know, they're the fourth. See, everybody's like, man, I hope I get the Texans. Yeah. But they don't, you know, that's where they want, because you're absolutely right. They want that first win to be simple. Man, when you look at Burrow and the way they're playing, and we talk about the MVPs, and we talk about Lamar, we talk about Josh, Saquon, because of his performance at record-setting year pace he's on. The way Joe Burrow is playing, I'm going to stand on this. If they had more wins under their belt, I don't know how you deny him. Because when I think of the MVP, it's about moments. And I just think about him throwing that ball, was it last week, when he was horizontal, just laid out, throwing it. That's a moment. Josh Allen has given us moments. Lamar gives us moments. But these Burrow moments this year, man, they are fantastic. And you got to win. I get it. But I just feel like it says a lot about the quarterback play in the AFC, the fact that he is not considered the MVP.
He's doing a lot. He's carrying his football team on his back. But I don't know, J-Bell. I wouldn't say all that now. Come on, man.
Is he balling out? We just made him a player of the week for a reason.
He's balling out. There's no question about that. But is he doing anything that we haven't, like what Lamar's doing right now? What Lamar is doing right now, I cannot say that even if Joe had, let's say the Bengals were,
they had magic
11-5. Yeah. I wouldn't put him over Lamar Jackson. I just wouldn't.
Okay.
His numbers, Lamar Jackson's numbers are just mind-boggling.
I don't know how. Okay, you are entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with this point that their quarterback play in the AFC is so high that this makes sense to me. But when you look at the way he's playing, I always think about, from a numerical standpoint, how much money are you getting paid and how are you carrying the team? Is he carrying that team? Now, he's got 2 explosive wide receivers, but the way he's playing, right? You're not looking at him and saying, there's not a single dime wasted, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And he has had to rally. The way he's had to overcome, whether it's injuries, whether it's at the beginning of the year, it's like they're sleepwalking. He finds a way, man. And the way he's playing now, he's playing his best. Like we said, nobody wants to see them in the playoffs, and it's because of Joe Burrow.
Okay, well, let me put this to you then. Yeah? Let me put this to you. Let's give Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, let's give them T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And let's give Joe Burrow, Zay Flowers, and Keon Coleman and those receivers, right?
No, you got to give them one team's receivers. You can't break up teams.
That's what I'm saying. One team, whichever team, right?
Okay, put him in Baltimore.
What does Lamar Jackson do with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? What do you think he does with those receivers?
Not any better than Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Because
it's hypothetical.
The one thing you took away from him is Derrick Henry. That combination is deadly. Like if you
he wasn't doing this before Derrick Henry? He wasn't an MVP twice before Derrick Henry? Or like, what are we doing?
When you talk about a combination, him and Derrick Henry in the backfield together, that is tough on defenses. Now, if you put Joe Burrow in that situation with Derrick Henry, are you as fearful as Joe Burrow as a runner as you are Lamar? No. So that plays differently. That is so scary when you talk about that offense, is both of those guys as running threats in the backfield together. So I think that's what supercharges the Baltimore's offense.
Is Derrick Henry.
Yeah. That combination of him and Lamar, you know, as a defender, I'm thinking about how I would have to adjust to tackle them. I got a power guy who's got speed. I got a guy who's slippery when he's not even wet. It's hard to get him on the ground, and they're going back and forth at you, man. That is tough, man. I think that combination is what's so deadly when you talk about the Baltimore Ravens. So if the formula works.
The only problem with your arguments, and there's only one problem with that argument, is this man has won the MVP twice without Derrick Henry.
No.
That's the only problem with your arguments.
He is balling, and to me, he's the MVP. Okay. I believe that. I'm saying we're not even talking about Joe Burrow. He's not even in that conversation I need wins by your name.
Okay, I can agree.
That's all I'm saying. I feel like I do feel like it's being wasted, but hey, that's why we both agree we would like them in the playoffs.
We're not going to cry for him, though, because I'm quite sure he owns the plane. Was he on a Batmobile?
Oh, he got the. I don't even think, did he even get it delivered yet? Did he get it delivered?
$3 million on a Batmobile, man. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, he ain't sure. He might lose one of his receivers, but he got a Batmobile. I tell you somebody right now who nobody's crying for, but he should be crying after the end of the season, whatever happens, because he has turned his career around. That is Sam Darnold. The Vikings against the Packers. The Vikings beat the Packers 27-25. Darnold completed 33 of his 43 passes for 377 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Osi, you know what I love about this game? This was the game of the week. It was go time. It was all the stakes, right? We talked about both these teams. This is the first 9-game regular season winning streak since 1975 for this team, okay? And their first 14-win regular season since 1998. So things are good. What I liked about this is the fact that Sam Darnold, playing the way he is, was spreading the ball around.
Yeah.
So many different receiving threats were active. And then, towards the end of the game, when finally you've been doubling Justin Jefferson, doing all kind of stuff, he still ends up leading you in receptions and yardage because he came through in the moments. So he stays ready, right? It's hard when you haven't been getting a volume of targets. They were trying to get him the ball, short routes or whatever, but in his clutch time, he made it happen. He came through. Sam Darnold is so aggressive when he pushes the ball down the field. And then this defense is so aggressive, the way they attack quarterbacks, perfect combination of a team and a structure. This team, I'm going to say it, I haven't said it before, I'm not surprised if they win a Super Bowl now. I'm not surprised at all.
Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Ooh, boy. That's a lot, J-Bell.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised. They were playing man coverage on third down. They usually drop to those zones. They're playing man, making it hard. They're adjusting. Brian Flores, we know what he's capable of. These guys have just gotten better on how they're operating in this defense. They can get out after the pass, so they can cause turnovers, and their quarterback and their offense is playing at the highest level possible, and the offensive line is protecting them. Osi, you telling me that isn't a scary formula?
That is a very, very scary formula. And you're talking about a quarterback that has all the tools. He's always had all the tools, right? No question about that. Yeah. KOC, Kevin O'Connell, has unlocked this man's potential, right?
Unlocked it, bro.
But again,
that breath. I don't like it.
There's always that feeling of when is Cinderella going to lose her glass slipper? There's always that feeling. And the reason why is we always believe the cream will rise to the top. And I'm just Sam Darnold. Yes.
Oh my
Fantastic season. Pro Bowl season.
You have you want him to fall?
I don't want anybody to fall.
Okay,
I don't.
I'm just saying.
I do not want that. And I'm really happy for the Minnesota Vikings. This is a proud franchise, a good franchise. They're winning games. They're well coached. I like them on both sides of the ball. I really do. But it's just something is just telling me that at the most inopportune time, Sam Darnold is going to play a very, very bad game. Something is just telling me that. Something tells me he's going to revert to the mean. Now, I hope it doesn't happen.
Is this his new mean, though? I mean, this is Osi. We're talking about a guy who ever since he left the Jets, right? He's been in rehab, man, and he's out. He's fresh. He's clean, okay? He's ready to go. He is a different dude. Why are we holding him to what he was for the Jets, bro?
Listen, J-Bell, the proof is always in the pudding, right? And only time will tell, right? Now, we've been at this now for 10 years. It's been a long time. And a lot of times I say things that I can't explain and I can't even back up with facts. It's just a feeling, right? I can't back him up with facts. This is just a feeling. There's nothing about the way he has played this year that will lead me to believe that he isn't going to continue to play this way through the playoffs. Nothing. He's been fantastic, spectacular. But something inside me is just holding on to something that maybe isn't there. And we're going to find out.
To your point, I think that's the whole narrative in this conversation. When we talk about him, every week, when we prepare for these games, what is it? Hey, what's going to happen? When is Sam Darnold going to do this? I mean, you're right. This narrative is real. It's the backpack he's carrying. And until he sheds it, this is what we're going to be talking about. So,
but it's like Josh Allen, though. It's like Josh Allen. It's like Lamar Jackson. To me, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, they're doing all this, but then in the playoffs, we haven't seen them. So until we see it, we're like, well, we have to see it first, and then we believe.
You know what? And I think what you're saying is like we change our expectations of players by their performance. And he is now elevated to where we're like, okay, you're no longer this. Now we're putting you in the category of, hey, are you a winner in the postseason?
Yep.
And that says a lot about his play that he's been able to evolve like that. So yes, we should give him his flowers because of that. But this is what happens. I mean, think about it. All the Pro Bowls you had before you won a Super Bowl, it's are you a champion or are you not? Yep. How do you play? And then how do you play in the postseason compared to the regular season, right? They keep changing the goalposts. And we're doing that to Sam Darnold, but that's the nature of the business.
The nature of the beast. It's the nature of the business.
That is, man. Well, they play this Sunday against the Lions for the battle of the number 1 seed, Osi. And I know it's early, but let's just throw it in there, man. What are your thoughts on this game? Who do you think is going to get this win, man? This is the game, bro.
I don't know. And even if we're speaking about this later on when we're doing our picks, I don't know what's going to happen here because I can see this going either way. The way Minnesota is playing, I mean, come on. Of course they can beat Detroit. But Detroit, there's something about them, man. They're just a tough football team. They've overcome so many obstacles this year, and they keep on winning. So who would have ever thought this? I mean, we knew Detroit was going to be a good football team. But who would have thought the Minnesota Vikings were going to be battling for the number 1 seed and a bye? Like, what? The NFL is crazy, J-Bell. Crazy.
There's a matchup I want you to watch in this game, and I need you to break this down for me because you're the person I've learned line of scrimmage play from, right? You have given me all my nuggets. This front of the Minnesota Vikings, the offensive line is playing pretty well.
Yep.
We know about the injuries on defense from the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to get after the passer?
Yeah.
I mean, they can be aggressive, manufacture pressures, but there's so much attrition on the defensive line. Like I'm looking and I need an answer there. That's the thing to me. That's the matchup.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's going to be tough for them because with the weapons at Minnesota's disposal, right? Their receivers, their tight end, like you don't want to be blitz heavy against this football team. You can't do that. Leave your corners in one-on-one situations.
Not all. No way.
You're going to be in big problems, right?
Wow.
But conversely, you have to find a way to generate pressure. They don't have no D lineman who can generate pressure on a consistent basis. And if you allow Darnold to sit back there, he's going to carve you up.
He showed.
That might be where the game is won and lost, J-Bell, now that you mention it.
Yeah,
right there.
It'll be interesting to see Aaron Glenn, my former teammate who taught me how to play corner. This guy's great, but when does he dial up like Steve Spagnuolo does that moment where you cause a negative play? That's going to be it, right? It's going to be like, when do I just throw the kitchen sink at it? And somebody's got to have the hard down, they say. They got to play man to man, and hopefully they hold up. But yet, I need you to chop this up for me, because if this is one of these teams is in the Super Bowl, we're going to learn a lot about them in this game. Well, especially for the playoffs, my friend. There's something else that you said a long time ago when we had our wonderful show, which I hope somebody pays for, and we can be back on one of these networks soon. No free lunches. You talked about the clutch gene.
Yeah.
And you had read something about it, and you came in and in an OC way, you broke it down. And you were talking about Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And you had stats to back it up. You had film to back it up. It was great. We're always looking for that next person. And I think each year when we see rookie quarterbacks, we see them perform at a high level, especially when it's unexpected. I feel like we give them that moniker quickly. We said this a lot last year about CJ at times, right? We did. We gave CJ, he was balling, right?
Yeah.
We gave him the clutch. He had a little bit of clutch. It's been a tough year, offensive line issues, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Jayden Daniels. We're talking about Mr. Daniels himself. See, he ran for 127 yards, okay? One was long for 25 yards. Big run. Then he threw for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had an interception, but he led his team to a victory in overtime, 30-24 against the Falcons. You had another young quarterback on the other side, Michael Penix getting his first start. He was interesting. Bijan Robinson was doing his thing. That being said, when you look at what Jayden Daniels has done, my goodness, he keeps pulling it off, bro. Yeah. Keeps making it happen. And you see the team rally behind him.
Yeah.
They feel that energy. Does he have the clutch gene, OC?
Too early to say.
Oh, my goodness. I worked that hard for that.
Yeah, too early to say. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's because I want to wait to see, right, this offseason, whether he goes and does a bunch of podcasts.
Oh, my God.
I want to wait. J-Bell, I want to see if he does, if he goes sumo wrestling in Japan. Like after that, then I'll know. Because if you are going to have the clutch gene, right, it comes with relentless preparation.
OC, now you're speaking facts. I want you to, yes, you are speaking facts.
It comes with relentless preparation. I said something. Somebody sent me a video, and the video was a guy. He was just sitting there talking. He was like, "You're not nervous. You're just not prepared." And that thing, like when I saw that, it hit me because every single time I've been fully prepared, J-Bell, I wasn't even concerned about the outcome. I wasn't. The only time I was really concerned was when I was like, oh, well, I don't. But when I was prepared, I wasn't concerned. So at that quarterback position, I know we spoke about this earlier. And I know, people want to have fun and relax and enjoy. It is okay for everybody on the football field besides the quarterback. He can't do it. He has to have a level of mental preparation and a level of humility, and it doesn't allow for the things that everybody else does. So when I see this man's activities, when I see that, when I see his behavior, I'll be able to tell you whether or not this clutch gene that we're seeing now is going to carry over. Because we saw this in CJ last year, and then look at what's going on this year. So let's wait and see.
We're laughing, and I'm joking. You are spitting facts, bro.
Yeah.
Everything I see from him is a person who is confident, calm. His demeanor seems very relaxed and consistent.
Yep.
He's on the sideline. He doesn't, his emotions aren't up and down, which what you want to see, and the team rally behind him. Shout out to Zach Ertz, who caught his that touchdown in overtime. He had 2 touchdowns on the day. But that last drive, man, how Jayden Daniels put it together. He's showing you and he's letting you know he's special. He's got a lot of experience, a lot of college starts. And he just set a new record for the most rushing yards by a rookie quarterback in a season, surpassing Robert Griffin III, who obviously was with the team he is on now. But you are completely right, OC. This dude's balling. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. I'm very interested. But it is what happens off the field. Yep. It is what happens away from the facility. That does mean a lot, because if we are going to give you the, I don't even want to say the credit, but you're put on a pedestal as a quarterback. We look at you in a way, we evaluate everything you do. How do you talk to everybody, right? Are you cool with everybody in the building? You know, what kind of person are you when you go out to a restaurant? We're watching all that. So you are right. I think a lot of players get in trouble by what they do in the offseason. And it's tough because this is what people expect out of them. And before I get into somebody who is doing more than expected by, by his previous employer, I'm going to say this, OC, and I really want to know what you think. I think things are going to, I read an interesting article, and I think things are going to change. You are a person who is not overexposed. You never have been.
Yep.
This is who you are naturally. And if somebody wants OC to show up for something, it costs a lot of money. I know your number because you have said no, and they had gave me a lesser number when they said, well, will Jason do it? Yes. Jason, at this number, no. We're going to go a lot lower, right? Your number is high. There's a reason you're not overexposed. Mm-hmm. The new currency with a lot of these athletes is going to be less exposure.
Yep.
It's changing. The audience has wanted it, but it's just too much access.
Too much.
It's getting too much.
Too much.
Especially, they're not movie stars where they're trying to sell a show, like a movie. During the season, they go out, they make a performance. You still have to do things. You still have to have notoriety, but my goodness, it's every second of their life. You're seeing that right now with the young man, Travis Hunter, and all the things he's having to go through. The man just won a Heisman, OC. He just won the Heisman, and he's on there answering the trolls, talking about his life. They should have access to you. Why are you? They should not be able to talk to you, bro. You should be untouchable right now.
It is the gift and the curse, J-Bell. We spoke about this a couple of months ago, and I was like, there's a time when the pushback is going to come, and that pushback can come from anybody. It is too much. It's too much, J-Bell. Too much access. They want to be out there. Everything is a brand. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Yeah.
No, just play football, man. I'm never going to be the one to be like, shut up and dribble. Yeah. But at some point, that is exactly what you have to do. Yeah. It's too much. You're getting paid millions to play the game. You don't necessarily have to do all this other stuff. You just don't.
You don't have to do it all. You're right. There are some things you're passionate about. Do that. Whatever it is, be involved with that, but don't do everything because somebody says do it or wants you to say something. Hey, these people have you dancing all day. Hey, do this dance, do this video. This is viral. This is cool. And then somebody, when they're evaluating on using you for something that has some serious monetary value, they're going to be like, well, what actually, is this going to work for us? Yeah. Is this really who he is? You know what I'm saying? These social media people, man, they'll have you do anything, because guess what? They'll leave their job and go somewhere else and find somebody else to clip up and to say, hey, this is fun. Look at these likes we have. You know, and you're right. These stars don't have to do that.
J-Bell, it's the people who need it the least are the ones who are doing it the most. You know what I mean?
Bro, you're right.
The people who need it the least.
They don't need it.
Are the ones. There's some people who need to do this.
Yes.
Okay, they're not, making quite as much. You know what I mean? They have to start planning for, what's going to happen here, right? And then you got these people who's making $50, $60 million a year. Like, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's really tough. It's a tough situation because all of them are unique and different. But my goodness, I think this whole thing I saw with the young man, Travis Hunter. I feel so bad for him, man.
Yeah.
You know,
he brought that on himself in a way.
Yeah, true, very true. And it's because the exposure got him a lot of NIL money. It got him a lot of NIL money. But now, this young man who's at the pinnacle of his career now, when some team is thinking about taking him as the top pick, he's got to answer these kind of questions. And that's completely avoidable. There's somebody who can help him, though. If anybody can help him through this, it's Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders can make him. I need somebody to help. I need somebody to help the Giants because the Eagles beat the Cowboys 41-7, and Saquon Barkley dominated, especially in the second half, surpassing 2,000 rushing yards for the season. He had 167 on the day. That being said, Osi. Let's turn left. Saquon is in the MVP conversation for sure. If he breaks the record, does he win the MVP?
Here's the way I look at things, right? In terms of the MVP, have you done something nobody else has done before? If you've done something that nobody else has done before, offensively, I don't think there's a way in which you can say he isn't the MVP.
Yeah.
I don't think they're winning games. They're 13-3. At worst, they'll be 13-4, which is a lot of games. You can say that his arrival there and his performance has been directly correlated to the way they win games, because the quarterback he's good, but he's not good enough to take them, the whole way without.
Those two on the field together is a different threat.
It's a different threat, right? He has over 2,000 rushing yards. Only 9 people in the history of the NFL have ever hit 2,000 rushing yards, and he's done that in 16 games, right? If he goes into week 17 against the team he just left, breaks the all-time rushing record, he has to be the MVP, because there's nothing that Lamar's doing that we haven't seen before. There's nothing that Josh Allen is doing that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
Him doing this and winning games, you have to say he's the MVP.
Valid argument. Yeah.
Now we can get into the other stuff.
Yeah. And because for all this to happen, you talk about a storyline.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Your old team, the Giants, you break the record, you got the floor. You got it.
So this is one of those situations where, you feel love and hate at the same time.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Of course I know what you mean.
Saquon. I know him, right? And he's a good guy, solid individual, right? Down to earth, humble, great guy. So you want this for him. Mm-hmm. You want him to break this record. But against the Giants, against the team that you were a superstar for, against the team that let you go, a team that didn't feel like you were as valued as you should have been, the evil side of me says, absolutely, that's exactly what you want to happen. But I don't want that for the Giants. Like, that is literally, if you were going to write down the worst thing that could happen for the New York Giants, it would be that. How does this man leave this football team, go to a division rival, the owner of the football team? The only thing I heard him say in that whole documentary that they did, I heard him say one thing, J-Bell, I will be sick to my stomach.
Oh my God.
I will be sick to my stomach if he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Not only does he go to the Philadelphia Eagles, he is on the precipice of breaking the all-time rushing record against the New York Giants. I wouldn't be able to stomach it. Now, we're not calling for anybody's job, J-Bell. We're not calling for anybody to be fired, because we will never do that. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, if I'm the owner of the New York Giants, I don't care what happens. I don't care if this man drafts the second coming of Deion Sanders and Patrick Mahomes. I don't care. if this man breaks the rushing record, after I told you not to do this, you got to go, buddy. You got to go, J. Bell. You got to go,
What'd you say about restraint? What'd you say?
Listen, he would have to have the restraint of a Buddhist monk to not fire this man after something like this has happened, J. Bell. The restraint of a Buddhist monk. How? How do you not fire him? Like, how do you not do that? J. Bell, I want you to put yourself in Mr. Maris' shoes, J. Bell. Put yourself in his shoes, and you're there. Nice. You're in the box.
Okay,
you're in the box now, right? Yep. The GM is probably right next to you, and you're sitting down. You know, you're looking at the Giants fans. They got paper bags on their heads now, right? They're, the team has had a horrific season.
It's ugly.
You're one guy who you have said is the heartbeat of the fans. Love this guy. They're going to show up for him. They love him. Blah, blah. He has gone to your division rival. They're in the playoffs, and he is about to break the all-time rushing record against you after you told your general manager not to do that. What do you do?
Two things. First is something you told me a long time ago I lean on. It was like, J. Bell, you got to know when to trust yourself. Yeah. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts, especially when you've worked hard and you understand this subject matter. The one thing the owner of a team knows, the owner we're talking about, is his fans. I'm not talking about every owner, I'm talking about Mr. Mayor. And he was right. He said, I'm telling you all what I know, because he responds to letters. He looks at the emails. Fans talk directly to him. He knows. He's saying this guy is important to the fan base. He is popular. He is well-liked, and he gives energy, period. All right. Now, he trusted people he employed to do a job, and they did it. I think the Buddhist mentality has merit. But how do you do that when it's on tape?
Yeah.
The evidence is on tape.
For everybody to see.
We talked about being exposed. We love this exposure now. We love it. We eat it up. It's giving us talking points. The narrative, it's great. But who does it not help? Those decision makers.
Doesn't help them.
The person who looks smart on top of his game, owner. The people that didn't, decision makers. Right?
Yep.
There's a couple of them in there that were lower on the totem pole that were like, hey, are we sure we want to do this?
Hold on now.
Hey, fellas, imagine in corporations and workplaces around the world, if you had the videotape and you're like, nah, let's bring that back.
Yeah.
You know, it's such and such from accountant said this wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
You know, you know what I mean? Just like you saw it. So now you have to answer to that too. That puts more pressure on you as an owner because everybody sees the evidence.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? This is tough. And this is really hard on ownership because for a person who wants to stand by and stand up and let people do their job, that tree's got to get shook, bro, right? Somebody's got to take the L in the fall because the evidence is out there.
You want to hear something crazy?
Please.
You know which owner would have never allowed that to happen?
Jerry Jones?
You see what I'm saying?
Man, I know what you're saying.
He would have never allowed that to happen.
No.
And
never.
Look at the couple.
I know.
He would have never allowed it to happen. Never. He'd be like, you know what? Nah. Because I need these people. I need these people not to have bags on their head. I don't think. Have I seen Dallas fans ever like that? Maybe. I don't think so. Maybe, but I haven't. But
it's tough, man. He says
the Bucs stops with me. Like, period. And you saw. This is a very, very interesting scenario. Very interesting. Because you saw one owner, powerful, probably in terms of like power in the league, him, Jerry Jones, Miss Rooney, Art Rooney, they're the same. They have
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. And he could have very easily stopped that. But he wanted his people who he hired to do their job. And he empowered them. Cost him.
Yep.
And then the other side, you see a guy who's Jerry Jones who's like, nah, it stops with me. Cost him too.
Yeah. This is, man, this is why we love this game. It's the lessons that are learned that surround the product on the field, the things that happen off the field, the decisions. You made a good point about evaluating somebody in the offseason to say if they got the clutch gene. This is why this is, a 12-month, 24-hour kind of thing. There's always something to follow and look at and a narrative to build on because it all relates to losses and victories at the end of it.
I think we have the best podcast.
We do.
I'm not really hearing people talk. If you really listen to the things that we're saying, I'm not, blowing smoke. No. But nobody's talking like this, man. Think about the dimes and the gems that we're dropping, man. Too bad that, we only have a cult following.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, cult following.
Let's be honest. Our following was stripped away from us. We had a big following. We had some change happen. We didn't have the investment. Now we're back getting a little investment. We got people who care. Shout out to the production team, everybody involved. We appreciate y'all because you know what? Y'all care. All the clips you put out, all the things you do.
Hard work,
man. They be in there grinding, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. And
cult following.
They do. But no, it's picking up, bro. We getting traction. And it's because tell a friend, man. Tell a friend because you know what? All this stuff is relatable. You don't have to know anything about football, man. These storylines affect all of us in our day-to-day life. We just get to talk about it with a game that we love. Let's go around the NFL real quick. There was a lot of games, Osi. We'll shoot around. We've talked in depth about a lot of interesting things, but we had a lot of games because the Christmas Day games and all that kind of stuff was very fun. I want to start real quick with the Chiefs. They beat the Steelers 29-10. Patrick Mahomes, man, 3 touchdown passes in the victory. Kelce caught his 77th career touchdown. Matter of fact, hey, man, Jason Kelce is on every commercial in the U.S., bro.
Kelce,
Oh, he getting that bread. I love it.
Talk about overexposed.
He is, but it's authentic. You know what I mean? It's authentic, but yeah. Hey, they caught the wave at the right time. All the love for them for sure. For sure. His wife got a real top podcast, too.
His wife came out and her podcast took
Rogan.
Joe Rogan on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna listen to it, man. See what it might be interesting, man.
I'm not listening.
Okay. Hey, the Chiefs.
I can't do it, Jay. I apologize to you, Jason. I draw the line. This right here, I draw the line.
I'm gonna ask my mom's because she definitely probably has listened to it. But
I draw
her favorite
the line,
podcaster is Osi. For sure.
You know why?
No competing.
She knows ball.
She does know. She does.
She knows ball. That's why.
That is a fact. She does know. Yeah. You know, when your son plays corner and he's getting exposed, you better learn ball real quick because the fans, if they talking wrong, she be like, that was cover 3. That was not for him. Exactly. He's supposed to have help. That's 2-man. All right. There's supposed to be a safety over top to help him out. The Chiefs secure the number 1 seed with this win, Osi. And I just want to say something. You better be weary and worried about the Chiefs. They are playing their best football at the moment right now. The weapons are coming together on offense. Patrick Mahomes, I don't care what happens to his ankle, he recovers, and this defense is finding a way. They are getting better. Trent McDuffie moving back to the slot has been a big-time adjustment for them. You talked about Steve Spagnuolo, your former coordinator, the defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. He gets better as he understands his team and his opponent each year, and you see that coming through right now, Osi. This is a scary team. The three-peat is real.
It is real, and it's right there on the docket, J. Bell. Two Super Bowls in a row. We've never seen that. That's never happened before, right? Yeah, it's a possibility. They weren't playing well. They were finding ways to win games, and now when they are playing well, you do not want any parts of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Three-peat is real. Lamar Jackson, not a lot of teams want a part of him. He broke Michael Vick's all-time NFL rushing record for quarterbacks. You knew that was going to happen. And to your point earlier, when you break records, MVP could be real. And Derrick Henry rushed for 86 yards in the first quarter and had 147 yards for the game. Osi, the Ravens, 31-2 against the Texans. They are just walking into the playoffs. That is a terrible performance. CJ Stroud probably had his worst game of his career. 17 for 31, 185 yards and an interception. Osi, man, the Ravens are looking good also.
The Ravens have been looking good this whole year. What a football team. What a performance, man. What an absolute beatdown. The Houston Texans didn't play well, but they are not that bad. They are not as bad as the Baltimore Ravens made them look. Outclassed in every single department. The Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, two teams right now. I'm telling you, if you're in the AFC, along with the Cincinnati Bengals, they better not make it in. Yeah. Because if they do make it in, that is another team nobody in the AFC wants any part of.
Speak the truth. You know what else is the truth? Kickers matter, especially when the game is 6-3. That's the Seahawks beating the Bears. That's all I'm going to say. Kickers matter, bro.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
That's it, man. Shout out to Adden.
Dirty.
Yeah, shout out to Adden. Because guess what? That goes for you on your statistics for your defensive performance. Adden Dirty. You know, I don't want to rush you back to the UK to hang out, but one of the best barbecues in the offseason at his brother's house. It is amazing. Shout out to them as a family. His mom is so cool, bro.
Nice people. Just a nice family, man.
Nice family.
I'm so happy for Adden.
So happy for him, man. Really happy for him. The Chargers put a 40 burger up on the Patriots, who got 7. And Jim Harbaugh, let me tell you, this is significant. Most people don't know this. There are bonuses for coaches.
Okay.
He got $1 million bonus for making it to the playoffs.
Wow.
$1 million. A meal ticket.
Bang.
A meal ticket, Osi.
I'll tell you what, man. And we spoke about this early, maybe even before the season. I was like, I've played against a Jim Harbaugh-led football team.
You said that.
Bro, listen to me, man.
Tough, huh?
Oh, my God. And I have a story about that whole situation, but I'm going to wait till next week.
Are you going to wait till okay, all right.
I'm going to wait till next week to talk about the Jim Harbaugh-led San Francisco 49ers. A lot of stuff that happened during the season when we played them just shivers me timbers. Shiver me timbers.
Uncle Sam, log that, Uncle Sam. Make sure we do not forget that, because that will be interesting. You know who's an interesting team that is going to the playoffs is the Rams, who beat the Cardinals 13-9. And I'm telling you right now, this defense is playing well for the Rams. Yeah. They are getting after the Packers. They were young. They've gotten better. They are performing at a top level. The Rams are a scary team in the playoffs, Osi.
A nasty football team, J. Bell. Very, very nasty. They play defense with a mean streak. They have completely overhauled their identity. Remember, the Rams were the razzle-dazzle. They were a little soft. Not anymore. This team will bludgeon you. They will hit you in the mouth on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I love the way the Rams are playing. They are going to be a tough out in the playoffs also. You know who's not soft? Brian Thomas Jr.'s of the Jaguars. Brian Thomas Jr. This dude can fly. Dude, him, Malik Neighbors, like, come on now. Wide receiver you. Come on now. It is real. When you think about it, they have figured out, we're just going to throw you the ball, bro. We're running the offense through you. Yeah, nobody's really talking too much about his season. I mean, Neighbors is in New York, right? Yep. So you hear about Malik and you hear about all the stuff that he's doing. That's par for the course. But in terms of like just a flat out dog at receiver, that Brian guy, he is up there with Neighbors. And then you think about the receivers that have come out of LSU over the last couple of years. You got them two. You got Chase and Jefferson. Like what? Odell Beckham. Like what is going on down there in Louisiana, bro? It's real, bro. Those guys are coming out polished, man. And that's why when you think about it, when you're picking a team, when you're drafting, you go, hey, man, these guys are coming out ready, making plays. That's who gets picked up. And that's why they get the top kids coming out of high school, because they know everybody wants to play in the league, and this is your best shot. Speaking about playing in the league, your best shot, Baker Mayfield came out, top draft pick, ups, downs, whatever, overcomes, gets a contract, threw 5 touchdown passes this week to beat the Panthers. I tell you what, though, my man, Bryce Young, I salute you too. Playing well. I salute you too, because you know what? You've been in the battle, you've been in the fire, and you are responding. Can this team, man, this offense, man, I feel like they can make noise in the playoffs, especially the way they can run the ball, man. They are, I mean, you can run the ball. Irvin is nice, man. Yeah. Right? And then, they got 2 running backs. And they got 2, And then Mike Evans, just stop, bro. I mean, 85 yards away from 1,000 for 19 years in a row. I mean, just unstoppable. All you see is highlights from him every week. And you know, it's hard to put up 48 points. They did that. And I'm telling you, they should be diddly in the playoffs. What do you think? The problem that I have with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they can run the ball, they play good defense. We know Todd Bowles, their defense coordinator, he's going to get after you. But ever since, and I'm talking about like, I really, really like Baker Mayfield. But ever since they played against the Giants and he was doing this,
oh, you're done.
Ever since I'm just
you're done.
J Bell, it rubbed me the wrong way. I can't lie. It did. It rubbed me the wrong way. There was just too much gusto in his as a quarterback. There was too much gusto in the way he did that, and
you don't like that.
I was done with him right then and there. As much love and sympathy and admiration that I had for him, because he's done a lot. He's come through a lot, ups, downs, having a fantastic 2 seasons, right? But this right here, in Giant Stadium, I was done with him, J-Bell.
You're a QB killer. You don't want no parts of that. But let's talk about the Giants. They threw up 45 on the Colts, so they bounced. They felt your pain. 45-33, and Malik Neighbors, bro. Neighbors, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Every time I looked up, it was a highlight from him. I mean, every single time.
Yeah, run after catch, too. It's not like these were deep balls. They were just getting the ball, and he was making people miss running to the end zone, man. Fantastic rookie season. So
physical. The Raiders beat the Saints 25-10, and there's one thing I want to say, man. They are not quitting on AP. AP has them guys fighting, and they're always close games, even when he loses, but he won this one. So when we evaluate the Raiders and the situation he's been handed, just look at the scores on that game. He ain't getting blown out when he loses.
Never. Get him a quarterback. Get him a capable quarterback. They have Bowers. Get him more receivers. They're going to be fine.
Yep. And then the Bills put up 40 on the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, man, he had 2 picks in the games. He was struggling.
Yeah.
What a storyline coming out, man. First of all, Josh Allen had 2 touchdowns. He took care of business. I mean, we'll get past that. Your boy Garrett Wilson is talking about requesting a trade if Aaron Rodgers is on the Jets in 2025. Yeah. I mean,
if they have to pick between Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, they're going to pick Garrett Wilson. I can tell you that.
Aaron ain't coming back, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's under contract, I believe, or they have. This is his last year.
I think it was a 2-year thing. Yeah, I don't think he's coming back, bro.
Okay, well, I watched Aaron Rodgers' documentary. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was very, very interesting.
Okay, give me a quick. What do you like? What do you dislike? Or what? Just your top kind of thoughts on it.
You could kind of see why he behaves the way he behaves.
Uh-huh.
I think you could kind of see it. Number one, he struggled to become who he became. It's not like he was just the most talented guy. He went to junior college. He did all of that.
That is a fact.
Yeah. So nothing was given to him.
No, it wasn't.
It was hard, and he reads a lot. He's just a different kind of guy. Like, he's very, very different. And so it was interesting to watch the whole documentary, see him go to the jungle, do the ayahuasca, see him around different people. He's a good guy, man. Yeah. Like, I enjoyed the documentary. I did.
People like him, man. I heard somebody talking on their show, a guy we like, and he was saying, and he's from LA, and he was like, man, I know people, they roll with Aaron out here. They like him, I have a couple of friends that are cool, really cool with him. Does he feel, or does he seem like he thinks, is he one of these guys who knows he's smarter than you?
Who thinks he's smarter than
Or he knows?
He knows.
Okay.
Because he is very smart.
Yeah. But there's some smart people that don't think there or operate like that.
He doesn't come across to me as one of those arrogant, smart people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's 2 kinds of smart. There's like a arrogant smart, and then there's just I'm just smart. I read a lot. I study. I know these things because I've studied them. And he's not trying to beat you over the. He's cool, man. He's cool.
I think he's interesting, man. That being said, man, it's I want to look at it now that she said that. So
yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
check it out.
I'll check it out.
And I think maybe we should go to Costa Rica too.
Oh, I've been to Costa Rica. It's amazing.
Nah, you ain't been the way where he went.
No,
because I've been to Costa Rica too.
Yeah,
we ain't been to that part.
Okay.
We ain't been to that part.
All right.
I want to go to that part.
All right. I like it. All right, Osi, it's that time, man. Let's get into some picks. Maybe if we were on the back of our Costa Rica trip, we might come out with some good
great picks. You'd be able to see the future, J Bell. You'd be able to see the future.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, man. So these are our picks powered by 888 Sport, the official partner of the NFL UK and Ireland, OC. So here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Last week of the NFL. This is going to be great. So we got some good matchups. First of all, we got the Bengals at the Steelers, a must win for the Bengals, who are fighting for their playoff chances, and the Steelers are doing the same. Who are you going with?
Steelers have already clinched. I'm definitely going with the Bengals here. They need this one more. Too good offensively. I think they're going to win this game, J-Bell.
I'm doing the same because I want Joe Burrow in the playoffs, so he has to get a win for that to happen. We got the Giants at the Eagles. Saquon Barkley's trying to break the record, OC.
I know, man, and I think he's going to do it. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles here over the Giants, especially if they play all their players. Definitely Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles also, OC. Yeah. We got the Vikings at the Lions. What a game for the #1 seed. OC, I don't know what direction you're going with on this. I really want to hear this. Where are you headed?
I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings, J-Bell. I think they're going to win this game, going to get the bye, and then they're going to play the Rams and fall flat on their face.
Oh, what a hater. You brought me up and then threw me back down. I'm going with the Vikings, too. This is a team of destiny, it feels like. And we talked earlier about the Lions and the injuries, especially on the defensive line. I'm worried about that front. Can they bring pressure in this game? We got the Seahawks at the Rams. OC, what are you thinking?
Got to go with the Rams here. Seahawks eliminated from playoff contention. Not going to have much to play for. I'm going with the Rams.
I'm going with the Rams also in that game. And the Bears at the Packers. Packers off of a loss.
Yeah, definitely the Packers, man. They're going to mop the floor with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, the Packers got to get right, and this is a get-right game. So I'm going with them also. And that's what we think's going down this week. So head over to 888 Sport for all the odds. And remember, 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly. And I appreciate nobody harassing OC on the street. He's been walking and maneuvering. Things have been really cool. But hey, we got another week, so do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. As long as it's in a respectful way, because you know what I'm saying, that's my guy. And if it goes down, I go down with him. So we don't want that. It's just for fun. Appreciate all the love from everybody, man. This podcast has been really fun, OC. We dove into some things that I really wasn't thinking about, but you really sparked some intellectual thoughts. You always do that. And thank you for sitting in that room.
Yeah, my dark room.
Yeah. But the next time you sit in a dark room, don't wear a dark shirt. No, you like blending in, like you know what I mean? It's winter time, so my face is, I got a little bit less, melanin right now. Like if I was in Nigeria and this would have happened, you guys wouldn't have seen me at all. You'd be like, where's Osi, man? But at least you can see a little something. And my teeth, these are like popping right now. So remember last time we were filming something? You were in Nigeria and you went outside the palace.
You remember that? Yes. I was like, yeah, look at the peacocks. There was peacocks walking around, man.
I said, what is this? You said, oh, no, it's a peacock, and went outside and filmed it. Hey, man, we need to do that again this offseason. This is why we have to have the offseason pod, OC. We need the peacock, man.
Definitely.
All right, my brother, till next week, another good batch of games we get to break down, and let's see what the playoffs have to offer. Till next time, Jason and OC Podcast. Appreciate all the love.